And finally, after all of that introductory stuff that proves the Book of Zelph is true, I present to you the actual Book of Zelph, beginning with the first book of Laban, his life in Jerusalem. In this fabulous book, Laban the Younger writes of his youth, his friendship with Nephi, son of Lehi, and his loving relationship with his father, Laban. Lehi's family turns against Laban and Laban the Younger. Lehi covets Laban's brass plates, orders his sons to murder Laban and steal the brass plates. Nephi is convicted. Laban the Younger and a Jerusalem detective pursue Nephi to bring him to justice. Several Asian whores join them on the journey. Chapter 1. Summary. Laban the Younger begins writing upon gold plates in a secret language called Reformed Asian. Nephi and Laban the Younger are childhood friends. Laban the Younger plays at Nephi's house. Lehi goes crazy, begins preaching in the streets. The people make fun of him. Children mock him and conspire against him. Laban the Younger defeats the wicked children with his sling and saves Lehi. These events occurred around 600 BC.
And it came to pass that I, Laban the Younger, was named after the manner of my father who was named Laban. And I shall commence writing an account of my life upon these plates, yea, even plates of solid gold. And the record I shall make shall be a true record, and I maketh my record in the language of my companions, which consists of the learning of the Jews and the language of the Asians, and I shall call this language Reformed Asian. And it came to pass that my father, being a good man, had in his possession certain brass plates, like unto these gold plates upon which this record is written, save it be that my father's record was on brass, not gold. And these brass plates did have written upon them the record of the Jews, even like unto a Bible. And it came to pass that my best friend was named Nephi, and much happiness and joy did exist in Nephi's home during my younger years, for I visited Nephi much, and we experienced much light-mindedness and loud laughter playing games in his home. And Nephi had amongst him many brothers, yea, even brothers named Laman, Lemuel, and Sam. And the father of Nephi was named Lehi, and his mother was named Sariah. And Nephi does think his parents to be goodly. Now Lehi, being a visionary man, experienced amongst himself many strange and amusing dreams and nightmares. Wherefore he felt it must needs be that he should share his dreams and nightmares with the neighborhood as if they be real, and he doth pretend his dreams to be messages from God. Now it came to pass that when Lehi spake his dreams and nightmares to his neighbors, his home was no longer a happy home. For Lehi angered his neighbors, and he also did cause his children to become exceedingly frightened of him, save it be for Nephi and Sam, who still thinketh their dad to be goodly. And it came to pass that one day Lehi spake unto me, saying,
Laban, ye must repent, or ye shall be utterly destroyed. For it must needs be that God shall destroy Jerusalem and all who inhabit it, who repent not.
And this did cause me much confusion, for I think I doth do nothing bad. Wherefore I spake unto Lehi that I did nothing wrong, insomuch as he should be concerned, and had nothing to repent of. But Lehi spake unto me, saying, He can see into my heart, and knowest that I lie and commit many transgressions. And God shall surely strike me down unless I repent. And Lehi spake unto me that I shall be forgiven of mine iniquities only if I deliver unto him my father's brass plates. But if I deliver not my father's brass plates to Lehi, woe be unto me, for I shall be utterly destroyed by the Lord. And when I did hear the words of Lehi's mouth, and beheld he had a crazy look in his eye, yea, I became exceedingly scared. Wherefore I did turn away from Lehi and run home with exceeding haste. And I, Laban the Younger, spake unto my father the things which Lehi saith unto me. And these things did cause exceeding anger unto my father. Wherefore he gave unto me a commandment telling me to stay away from Lehi's home. And it came to pass that Lehi became exceedingly more zealous in his religion. Yea, even did he stand in the streets of Jerusalem and preach unto the people and tellest his dreams to all who could hear him. Thus saith Lehi unto those who passeth by,
Verily I say, repent, for Jerusalem shall be utterly destroyed.
And it came to pass that the people did throw fruit at Lehi, and the children felt it needs be to laugh at him and call names unto him, yea, even calling him crazy street preacher man. And the children did make funny faces at Lehi, and they did mock him exceedingly, even with exceeding mockingness. And it came to pass that these things did maketh Lehi to be exceedingly angry, wherefore he denounced his persecutors, saying,
Woe be unto ye who doth seek to persecute me. For the Lord shall destroy Jerusalem, and strikest ye down if ye repent not. And if ye shall ignore my warning, I shall watch thy destruction and laugh.
And it came to pass that Lehi had upon his face a beard of much whiteness, yea, even as white as the driven snow. And he shaveth not his beard for many months, wherefore his white beard was long, and he did appear like unto a wizard. And the children beheld Lehi, and did point at him and mock him, saying, Go up, thou white beard, go up, thou white beard. And Lehi looketh upon the children with exceeding anger in his eyes, and he cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-dogs from the neighborhood, who did bark at the children, and did threaten them, and nip at their ankles. And the children did laugh at the dogs, and point at them, and mock them exceedingly. For they were but small poodles, yea, even like unto cats. And the children kicked the dogs with their feet. And the dogs fled from the children, and did weep and wail, and they did hide under a bush. And when Lehi beheld that his dog curse had no effect on the wicked children, yea, it was that he was sore afraid. For the children did pickest up rocks from the ground, and throw the rocks at Lehi. And when Lehi beheld the children throwing rocks at him, yea, he did scream in terror, and run away from the children as fast as he could. And he fled to his home, and locked the doors, and hid behind his couch. And it came to pass that the children beheld where Lehi ran, and therefore they beheld where he dwelt. And the children went home, and gathereth up amongst them many eggs. And after the manner in which they gathereth eggs, yea, the children did return to in front of Lehi's house, and commenced throwing the eggs. And the eggs did make a mess on the house. And Sariah spake unto her husband,
Lehi, goest out and chastise those little children, for they throwest eggs at our house.
But Lehi was sore afraid of the children, for they threw rocks at him. And it came to pass that I beheld the children throwing eggs at Lehi's house, and I did think of my friend Nephi, and I determined that it must needs be that I should help his family. And I beheld the children gathering up dog waste, yea, not the yellow liquid type, but the other kind, yea, even brown dung. And the children placed the brown dog dung in a paper bag, and deviseth a plan, yea, even an evil and cunning plan to trick Lehi and make a mockery of him. Yea, the children conspired amongst themselves to set fire unto the bag filled with dog dung, and then shall they place the bag on Lehi's front porch. And inasmuch as the bag shall burn on Lehi's porch, the children shall knock on Lehi's door. And after knocking on Lehi's door, yea, the children shall run and hide themselves amongst the bushes. And when Lehi doth answer the door, and doth see the burning bag, yea, he shall desire to put out the fire even with his foot, and therefore he shall stomp on the bag with his feet, yea, even with all his might, thus getting the brown dog dung on his feet. And the children shall laugh. And this shall complete phase 1 of the conspiracy, after which the wicked children shall commence phase 2, in which, as Lehi stompeth the bag with his feet, yea, another wicked child shall knock on the back door. And after the child doth knock on the back door, yea, Lehi shall walk through the house to answer the back door. And by doing so he shall track the brown dog dung through Sariah's clean house. And Sariah shall curse at him, yea, even a sore cursing. And it came to pass that the plan was perfect but for one thing. The evil ones knoweth not that I heard their plan, and was desirous to stop it. And I did taketh out my sling, and I spake out to the wicked children, saying, Whosoever amongst ye is thy leader? And the tall one amongst them spake and saith unto me, Behold, I am he. And it came to pass that I did reach to the ground, and picketh up a stone, and slang it. And the stone did strike the leader betwixt the legs, yea, even did it strike his precious jewels, yea, even the jewels that doth hold his precious seed. And when the stone did strike the leader in his jewel sack, yea, he did fall to the ground, and grasp his jewels, and cry out in exceeding pain, and tremble in fear of me and my sling. And the leader of the wicked children did lie on the ground, for he was defeated, and in exceedingly great pain, and wherefore he began to weep. And when the other children beheld that their champion was defeated, and that he was crying like unto a little girl, yea, they fled, and Lehi's family was spared. And now the words which I have said unto thee thus far, and written upon these gold plates, must confound thee. For I did proofread the plates, and do see that my narrative lacks character development. Nevertheless, the words I write are true. Now it behooves me to flash back in time to explain the early parts of this story, so that ye might understand it better. Wherefore the plot and characters of which I write must cause unto thee much confusion. But yea, forgive me, for rare are the gold plates, and writing upon them is exceedingly difficult and time-consuming. For Reformed Asian is not a compact language, and doth require much space, for it is even less compact than writing in regular language. Wherefore I did suppose that it must needs be that I should skip the character development. But now I do realize that to be an exceedingly bad plan, for character development is crucial. And it shall come to pass that I shall endeavor to makest unto me more gold plates, yea, even enough so as to flash back in time and tell the backstory of these characters and develop them more. And thus, I close this, the first chapter of mine record, so as I may pound and flatten more gold plates, so as I may write the prequel to this chapter.
Very good. And here is chapter 2, beginning with my summary. Laban the Younger writes of his birth. His father, Laban, defends his wife's honor from a wicked doctor. These events took place a little before 600 BC.
And it came to pass that I, Laban the Younger, shall write an account of my birth, and of my father and mother in an attempt to develop the characters better. Yea, behold, it must needs be that to understand the actions of Lehi, Nephi, and my father, it behooves ye to understand the years leading up to that great and dreadful day. Yea, even that day where my father did getteth his head chopped off. Wherefore I shall write more things about him. And it came to pass that I was born to loving parents in the city of Jerusalem, or rather, Jericho. I was born in Jericho, wherefore my father was not named Laban, but he changeth it to Laban later, after we moved to Jerusalem from Jericho, and my mother was named Lucy. And I was to remain unnamed until my father renameth himself Laban, at which time I would to be named Laban the Younger. And verily, verily, I say unto thee, my mother was exceedingly ill during my stay in her womb, and because of the exceeding difficulty of my birth, my mother became unconscious, yea, even as if she be dead. And it came to pass that the doctor who administered unto my mother waxed strong in his abilities, but try as he might, yea, it was in vain, for my mother breathed no more. And the doctor saith unto my father,
Behold, thy wife is dead, for she moveth not, and we can awaken her not. Wherefore ye must go to her side now and mourn. And when ye have finished thy time of mourning, we shall remove her. For it must needs be that we make us room in her bed for another patient, yea, for we must remove her body and bury it.
And inasmuch as my father was grief-stricken, for he did visit my mother's side and mourned his loss exceedingly, yea, he was suspicious that she be not dead, and he spake unto the doctor,
Behold, thou sayest my wife be dead, but I have visited her, and she stinketh not. Wherefore I sayest unto thee that she be not dead, and ye shall bury her not, and wait for 3 days. And behold, if she ariseth not in 3 days, then shalt thou bury her, and I shall mourn her death. But until 3 days pass, yea, I shall mourn her not.
And it came to pass that the doctor spake at my father, saying,
Behold, ye request of me to leave us thy dead wife in this hospital bed for 3 days. Yet thou cannot prove she be alive, save it be that she stinketh not. Wherefore I shall take thy request to the authorities, yea, and I shall try to persuade them of thy case. But woe be unto thee, for they shall most likely believeth thee not. And behold, there are many sick among us, and short on room are we. Wherefore it is policy to remove the dead and make us room for the injured, and those great with child. Nevertheless, I shall go amongst the authorities with thy request, after the manner of which I shall return and report.
And it came to pass that 1/2 hour did pass, yea, and even afterwards did 1 hour pass away also. And after 1 hour passeth away, 1 1/2 hours passeth away, and after 1 1/2 hours did pass away, my father thinketh that the doctor shouldest to be back by now, but yea, he was not. And it came to pass that 2 hours did pass away, and yea, 2 1/2 hours passeth away, and yea, 15 minutes after 2 1/2 hours did pass away, and even after 2 3/4 hours passeth away, behold, the doctor did finally return unto my father and spake, saying,
It is wisdom in me that I cannot keep thy wife in the hospital bed any longer. Wherefore I regret to inform thee that it hath been commanded of me that I must taketh thy wife and bury her. Therefore I shall take her dead body and bury it in the Jericho cemetery.
And my father did plead with all his might, mind, and strength, and bade the doctor, even like unto a street beggar, to remove not my mother, for my father knowest that she be alive, and if she be taken and buried, yea, she shall be buried alive. Wherefore, inasmuch as she shall be buried alive, yea, she shall be deep underground, and shall suffer from want of air, but because she would be deep underground, yea, no air would be available unto her, and soon shall she die of suffocation. Therefore my father thought to bribe the doctor, and my father spake unto the doctor, saying,
O doctor, hear the words of my mouth, for unto thee shall I give anything if ye spare my wife and bury her not.
And the doctor replied unto my father,
I shall leave thy wife in this hospital bed and bury her not for the space of 3 days. And this thing shall I do for the cost of 20 pieces of silver. And if it shall be that she ariseth not in 3 days, and ye want for her to stay longer, behold, it shall cost thee 20 pieces of silver for each additional day.
And it came to pass that my father was grief-stricken, for he had not amongst him 20 pieces of silver. Wherefore he spake unto the doctor,
I havest not amongst me 20 pieces of silver, nor havest I any silver or gold or any precious things, for I am but a man of modest means. And if I were a rich man, I would bestow unto thee all my possessions to savest my wife. But behold, my pockets be empty. Wherefore, if ye bury my wife not, I shall be indebted unto thee.
And the doctor did mock my father exceedingly, and calleth him a miserable peasant. Nevertheless, the doctor found my mother exceedingly fair and beautiful, even though she did just give birth and did look better unto men before she gettest herself pregnant. And the doctor lusted after my mother in his heart. And it came to pass that the doctor did make unto my father an offer, saying unto him,
Yea, it must needs be that the dead of this hospital be turned over to authorities to be buried. But yea, I look upon thy wife, and even inasmuch as her eyes haveth bags under them, and her belly be swollen from childbirth, and her skin be pale from death, yea, I still think her exceedingly fair and white and delightsome. And yea, she doth stinketh not, for her aroma is of roses and sweet berries. Therefore, if ye allowest me to spend a night alone with thy sweet dead wife, yea, I shall speak unto the authorities, and sayest unto them that thy wife be not dead, and that she did regain consciousness and go home. And it must needs be that I shall then carry her body under the cover of darkness to my bedchambers.
And the doctor continued speaking his vile wickedness, and did manifest his true intentions unto my father, saying,
I shall lie naked with thy wife, and cleave unto her until the sun riseth, at which time I shall carry her body to thy house and drop her off. And ye may do with her as ye please, for one night with thy dead wife is all I desire, after which ye may have her.
Wherefore, when the doctor saith these things, and thinketh of spending the night naked with my mother, yea, he smiled an exceedingly big smile, and did lick his lips, and haveth lust in his eyes. And it came to pass that my father was exceedingly angry after the doctor spake these things. Yea, even so angry was my father that he did remove his sword and smote off the doctor's head. And it came to pass that the doctor's head did fall to the ground and roll out the door into the hallway. And thus, when the guards did hear the thump and the sound of a head rolling, they looked down the hall and beheld the doctor's head which was rolling toward them, even was it rolling like a great stone cut from the mountain. And yea, the guards became exceedingly alarmed, and they came upon my mother's room, and yea, they beheld the doctor who had fallen to the floor and who was gasping for air. And when the guards beheld the doctor did lift himself up off the ground, after which he collapsed and died. And it came to pass that the guards beheld the dead body of the doctor, and they beheld that the dead doctor haveth no head. And they did cite their minds backward to the time that they saw the head that rolleth down the hallway. And the guards beheld my father's sword, and beheld blood and flesh upon its blade. Wherefore they did use their gift of discernment to determine that my father smote off the doctor's head. And the guards restrained my father, and did tie him up, yea, even did they tie him up with rope, yea, even strong rope. And they did arrest my father for the crime of chopping off the doctor's head, and did takest him to the Jewish authorities.
And now I present to you Chapter 3. Summary. Laban is jailed and meets a wise man named Elidekiah. Elidekiah tells Laban how he can save his wife and break the spell by kissing her. He also tells of buried treasure. Laban escapes jail through stratagem. Laban the Younger counsels the reader not to judge the book by its poor grammar. A little before 600 BC.
And it came to pass that I, Laban the Younger, shall commence writing the 3rd chapter of mine story upon these plates, yea, even these plates which are made of pure gold. And it came to pass that I was but an infant, and inasmuch as my mother was presumed dead, and my father was in jail, I was taken to the Jewish orphanage. For it must needs be that I should be adopted, yea, even adopted by a goodly family. And some may say unto themselves while reading this book, yea, I mean these plates, that it shall be impossible for me to have known what did happen to my father during this time. Yea, some inquire how canst I tell this story which is about my father, if it is that I was but an infant during this time. Behold, fear not, for these things I know, because my father spaketh these things unto me over the years, and I am sharing the stories as he shared them with me. And it came to pass that inasmuch as my father awaited trial for the murder of the doctor, yea, he did share a cell with an old wise man named Elidekiah. Now my father spake his story unto the wise man, saying,
Behold, Elidekiah, ye old wise man, my wife shall surely be buried unless I escape and save her. Wherefore I must break the bonds of this prison, so as I may find her and awaken her from her sleep. Yea, but unsure am I on how to awaken her, for I am not a wizard, nor do I practice priestcraft. nor do I have the gift of magic or of sorcery.
And Eledekiah spake unto my father, saying,
O Laban, hear the words of my mouth. Weep not, for behold, thy wife be not dead. For I can feel it, and I havest a dream last night of a woman, yea, even a woman with the most white and delightsome skin. For she ariseth and cometh unto me, so as I may make love unto her. But then did I awaken, for the gods disturbeth my dream. But behold, I do know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and withest every fibre of my being, that the dream in which I spake was true, yea, even a vision. My dream beest a vision that thy wife be not dead.
And when Eledekiah spake these words, yea, my father was exceedingly glad. For my father did believe Eledekiah to be a wise man, whosoever knowest much, yea, even a prophet or a wizard. And it came to pass that Eledekiah continued speaking unto my father.
Behold, verily, verily, I say unto thee, thy wife doth havest a curse placed upon her by that cunning and evil doctor. For he haveth powers, yea, even the powers of magic. But they be not good powers, for he, being seduced by the dark side, doth use his powers only for bad, not for good. And behold, the evil doctor did put a spell on thy wife, so as she may remain unconscious, and ye thinkest she be dead, so as the doctor may lie with her unconscious body, and so as he can do wicked things unto it, and she shall cry out not, for she be unconscious. But fear not. For behold, she can be awakened, and the curse broken only through a counter-curse administered by the doctor, save it be that ye did smite off the doctor's head, which doth create a dilemma.
And when Eledekiah spake these words, my father became exceedingly sorrowful. For he did knowest that the doctor was dead, and therefore could not administer the counter-curse. But Eledekiah spake again unto my father, saying,
Be not sad. For I dabbled in priestcraft and magic and wizardry, and know of some of the powers by which they come. I thinkest I once read that this curse can be broken another way. Yea, this curse that the doctor givest unto thy wife can also be broken by the kiss of her one true love. Wherefore, it must needs be that ye find her and kiss her passionately on the lips. And if ye do these things with a sincere heart and a contrite spirit, behold, ye shall break the curse, and she shall arise, and ye may live happily ever after.
And my father did know that Eledekiah spake the truth, for he felt good in his heart, yea, even a burning in his bosom, that what Eledekiah saith unto him was true. And it came to pass that Eledekiah telleth my father of a buried treasure hidden away by Eledekiah 24 years earlier. And Eledekiah telleth my father where the treasure be in great detail. Moreover, Eledekiah saith unto my father that if my father doth help him escape, he will split the treasure with him 50-50. And it came to pass that the two men did shake hands and agree to be partners in finding the treasure, if they escapest the prison walls. But yea, my father thinketh Eledekiah was full of dung regarding the treasure, for he looketh not like a rich man. Nevertheless, he did agree to be Eledekiah's partner. And after the manner in which Eledekiah saith these things, behold, he did lie down and die, for he was an old man, yea, even 94 years old. And my father did mourn the loss of his friend, and did try kissing him, but knowest in his heart that the old man really be dead. For he stinketh, yea, even did he stinketh exceedingly with an exceedingly strong odor. And it came to pass that the guards returned not for the space of many hours. And yea, my father dwelt in the exceedingly stinky odorous cell all night. And it came to pass that my father did thinketh a plan, yea, even a genius plan to escape from prison. For when the guards shall discover the dead body of Eledekiah, yea, they shall desire the odor to go away, and wherefore they shall remove his body, which stinketh much, and throw it into the river. And my father did remove Eledekiah's clothes and put them on his own body, and he did removeth his own clothes and put them on Eledekiah's body. And my father takest Eledekiah, who was now wearing my father's clothes, and he puttest his dead body in my father's bed. And my father gettest into Eledekiah's bed wearing the dead man's clothes. And inasmuch as Eledekiah shall still be in the cell stinketh. And inasmuch as my father wearest Eledekiah's clothes, my father stinketh. And it came to pass that when the guards did return to check on the cell, yea, They beheld my father pretending to be dead in Eladikiah's clothes, and they thinkest my father be Eladikiah, and thinketh he be dead, for the cell still stinketh exceedingly. And the guards beheld Eladikiah in my father's bed wearing my father's clothes, and did presume him to be my father who was sleeping. Therefore they taketh my father, whom they did thinkest to be Eladikiah, and in order to freshen the cell they taketh my father outside the prison wall. And inasmuch as they thinketh he be dead, yea, they did heave him into the continually running river. And it came to pass that my father did stay under water, and did let the current carry him downstream for the space of 3½ miles until the guards could see him no more. And then did he swim ashore, and behold, my father was free. And behold, verily, verily, I say unto thee, some may say that this book has bad grammar. But yea, if it doth have bad grammar, it shall be an error in translation, not an error in truth. For I waxed strong in making these plates, and it shall not be in vain. For the words of this book be as true as the gold upon which they are written is pure. Wherefore believest not the enemies of this book, who sayest it be not true because of the bad grammar. Ignore them, for jealous are they, and ye shouldest to only focus on the epic story and plot, not the grammar.
What a splendid chapter, which ended with wise counsel for all who read this book. The next chapter is called Chapter 4, and here's the summary. Laban attempts to rescue his wife from being buried alive and raped by a perverted gravedigger. Laban the Younger is running low on gold plates. These events take place a little before 600 BC.
And now I, Laban the Younger, shall write even more concerning my father's escape from the Jericho prison, and his search for his wife, yea, even his wife who is my mother. And it came to pass that after my father escapest from the prison through stratagem and by way of the river, yea, my father walkest to the Jericho cemetery in search of my mother. And when my father did arrive at the cemetery, he beheld a gravedigger, and he beheld the gravedigger standing over a body. And yea, my father beheld the body was that of my mother. And my father did desire to distract the gravedigger so as he may takest my mother's body and run away. But the gravedigger did lookest upon my mother with lust in his eyes, and he did kneel before my mother, and did place his hand upon my mother's left bosom, and did fondle it. And he did lean down, and did kiss my mother, and did run his tongue across my mother's face. And it came to pass that the gravedigger did stand, and takest out his member. And after the manner in which the gravedigger pulleth his schlong out of his pants, yea, he did fondle it, while he lookest upon my mother's dead body. And my father could see that the gravedigger was uncircumcised, which thing was an abomination. And my father did know that after the gravedigger shall finish stroking his member, and after he doth spilleth his seed upon the ground, yea, he wouldest bury my mother. Wherefore my father did think quickly, even did he thinketh up a plan. And my father did findest a rock, yea, even a rock of exceeding hardness. And the rock my father found was big, but not so big that he could not lift it, yea, even was the rock about the size of a coconut. And my father did lift the rock over his head, and he did come upon the gravedigger from behind, and did beat him over the head with the rock. And it came to pass that when my father did strike the gravedigger on the head with the rock, yea, the gravedigger's skull did crack, and his brains did spilleth out onto the ground as a greyish ooze. And the greyish ooze was like unto the greyish gravy which my father doth occasionally make for dinner. For my father is an exceedingly bad cook. Nevertheless, I did love him so, for he was a goodly father. And much blood did squirt out of the gravedigger's head, yea, even like unto lava erupting from a volcano. And my father did strike the gravedigger's head with such might that the gravedigger's eyeballs did also pop out of their sockets, even like unto popcorn popping on an apricot tree. And the gravedigger did fall to his knees, and did lookest upon the ground, and beheld his own eyes floating in his greyish brain matter that spilleth from his broken skull. And yea, he became exceedingly scared, for he could see that his eyes had been knocked out of his head and were looking back at him, and his brain matter did drain upon the ground. And the gravedigger did struggle to think of a plan, but it was exceedingly difficult for him to think, for his brains draineth from his skull, leaving increasingly less brain matter to think with. And after the manner in which his skull was completely drained of brain matter, yea, he could thinkest no more. And it came to pass that the gravedigger did reach for my father, for he so desired exceedingly to kill my father for doing this thing unto him. But he could see not my father, for his eyes be not in his head. And the gravedigger attemptest to think what to do next, but for he havest no brains upon which to think, yea, he died. And it came to pass that my father beheld my mother, and did take my mother into his arms. And he beheld that she was still unconscious, and doth lookest dead. And my father knowest what he must do, and did follow the counsel of Eledekiah, and did kiss my mother hard, and with much passion on the lips, knowing that the kiss shall break the spell, and my mother shall awaken. And it came to pass that my mother's eyes moved not, and her chest heaved not, and the curse was lifted not. And yea, my father was filled with exceeding anger, for he doth know that Eledekiah doth know nothing of magic, for his plan did fail. Yea, Eledekiah was full of dung, for Eledekiah doth pretend to be a wizard or a priest or whatever he wants to pretend to be. But he was just a crazy old man, like unto those other crazy old wizards and prophets, whosoever sayest much but doest little. And my father beheld my mother, and did finally accept that she be dead, and did deny it no more. For her eyes were sunken, and her skin was green, and she was exceedingly not white and delightsome, for she was green and loathsome, and she doth stinketh much. And my father did bury her quickly, for the sight of her was exceedingly revolting unto him, and did make him want to vomit. And it came to pass that my father did desire to gather the riches of Eledekiah, for he did remember where Eledekiah sayest that he did bury it, and he thinkest that Eledekiah was full of dung about the riches, but he did decide to see for himself. But my father did know that it must needs be he first rescue me from the orphanage. And it came to pass that I, Laban the Younger, doth misjudge the exceeding difficulty of writing upon gold plates. For this language, even this reformed Asian language, doth increase the space requirements, for it is not a compact language, yea, but it requires more words to say simple things. And I do wish to write in regular language, but yea, if these plates should fall into the hands of mine enemies, it must needs be that they cannot decode them, wherefore it behooves me to get more gold. And this doth concern me, for I have not yet gotten to the important part of my narrative, yea, even the murder of my father, and the investigation thereof, and the attempt to bring the perpetrator to justice, and my journey to America, and my epic battle with Nephi. Wherefore it must needs be that if I run out of gold plates, I must use silver plates, but yea, I much prefer gold. And if it so be that I should use silver, judge not the plates by the metal upon which they are written, but judge them by their content. And now I must move swiftly to find more gold to makest more plates. Wherefore I bid thee adieu.
And that concludes chapter 4. What a remarkable story so far. And the most amazing thing is, it is 100% true. It really happened. When we return, we will commence the next chapter, which is called Chapter 5.